Hello there, welcome to the news on Nepal television. I am Rosina Rai, starting with the top stories. Eight ruling partners holding meet today at 4 p.m. Upcoming presidential election, cabinet expansion and other contemporary issues to be discussed. Sudhir Pasim's Chief Minister Kamal Bahadur Shah seeking vote of confidence today. Provincial Assembly meet called for 1 p.m. China's government sets this year's economic growth at around 5%. New target comes as China tries to rebuild businesses after ending COVID restrictions. A landmark agreement to protect global ocean reached after years of negotiations. Welcome back. Now the news in details. The meeting of 8 ruling parties has been called today to discuss the upcoming presidential election, role of coalition partners in the government and other contemporary issues. The meeting is being held at the Prime Minister's official residence in Babatar at 4 p.m. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, who is planning to expand the cabinet immediately after the March 9th presidential election, has been holding consulting with the leaders of the 8-party alliance. Today's meeting will also focus on power sharing. Shah is taking the votes of confidence in the Province Assembly today. Speaker Bhim Bahadur Bhandari said that the meeting over the Provincial Assembly has been called for 1 p.m. for holding vote of confidence. Shah lately had ramped over efforts and intensified the discussion with CPN Unified Socialist, CPN Maoist Center and Nagarik Unmukti Party seeking support. Shah appointed as the Chief Minister of Sudhir Pasim Province on February 9 as per the Article 168, Sub-Article 3 of the Constitution after the government-led by UML's Rajendra Singh Rawal collapsed on 26th January. He needs support from 27 Province Assembly to secure vote of confidence in the 58-member Province Assembly. Nepal has 19 members, followed by UML's 10, Maoist Center's 11, Nagan independent lawmaker. The Narayan Ghat Mungling road section will remain open round the clock from today. The road section used to be closed for 4 hours daily from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. since December 24, flattening hillside to expand the road for construction of bridges along the roadway. Vehicular movement was not allowed due to the difficult terrain and for road safety during the construction of the approach roads and bridges. Explosives are being used to blow over the hole next to the Twin River, where 40 meters are yet to be cut. The work of cutting site was all carried out next to the Chisenji, Simaltal, Kalikhola and Namchi rivers, which have been completed. 5 bridges are the latest expansion of the road. We shall get back with the national and international updates at the site we do have. Stay with us. Welcome back here on Nepal Television News, and now the remaining updates. The popularity and trust of naturopathic treatment provided by the Community Naturopathic Hospital, established 14 years ago at Rajar in Devchuli Municipality, East Nawalparasi, is increasing day by day. The treatment destination for patients across the country. According to the Dr. Puri, the treatment without drug is followed through acupuncture and physiotherapy, and hospital carries out 100 beds facilities. Likewise, more than 4,000 patients are being treated every year with complete residential facility in the hospital. With the support of the community and the government, this hospital, which has progressed according to the plan to operate the hospital with capacity of 300 beds, has proved to be a privilege for the patients. The government and community support has made it possible to progress the hospital gradually. Meanwhile, the government concern and commitment would be milestone to make Nepal leading in the sector of naturopathic treatment. Modest target for economic growth this year of around 5%. According to a government work report on Sunday, as the National People's Congress NPC kicked off its annual parliamentary session. In the report, outgoing Premier Lee Keqiang said it was essential to provide economic stability, setting a goal to create around 12 million urban jobs this year, up from last year's target of at least 11 million. China's gross domestic product GDP grew by just 3% last year, one of its worst swing in decades, squeezed by 3 years of COVID-19 restrictions, crisis in its vast property sector, a crackdown on private enterprises, and weakening demand for Chinese exports. Premier Lee Keqiang, the top economic officials, announced by Congress. China's leader Xi Jinping said earlier this year's officials' priority is an economic revival based on consumer spending after growth sank to 3% last year. It's a second lowest level since at least the 1970s. North Korea has called on the United Nations to demand an immediate halt to joint military drills by the United States and South Korea. In a statement on state media on Sunday, Foreign Minister Kim Son-gyung said the drills and the rhetoric from the allies have posed tensions to an extremely dangerous level. He said the UN and the international community will have to strongly urge the US and South Korea to immediately halt. Seoul and Washington announced on Friday more than 10 days of large-scale military exercises, including amphibious landings from March 13 to 23. The allies have said the exercises are defensive and are necessary to counter the rising threats from North Korea's ballistic missiles and nuclear weapon programs, which are banned by UN Security Council resolutions. We have more international headliners at the side. Stay with us. Time for a short break again. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now the remaining international headliners. Police in Australia have revealed details of where the cocaine linked to a Mexican drug cartel from reaching the country. It is reported to be the biggest drug bust in Australia's history. Operation Beast began in November when narcotics officers seized 2.4 tons of the drug off the coast of South America. Nations have reached a historic agreement to protect the world's ocean following 10 years of negotiations. The High Sea Treaty places 30% of the seas into protected areas by 2030, aiming to safeguard and recuperate marine nature. The agreement was reached on Saturday evening after 38 hours of talks at UN headquarters in New York. The negotiations had been held over years over disagreements on funding and fishing rights, 82, and the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. Marine life living outside of these protected areas has been at risk from climate change, overfishing, and shipping traffic. Moving on to sports now. Chile's Nicolas Jarry will meet Argentine Toman Martin Echeverry in the Movistar Chile Open final after both men on Saturday victorious in Santiago. Resurgent Jarry advanced to his first Munar, becoming the first Chilean to reach the ATP 250 final since Christian Garin won the 2021 title. The 27-year-old is through to his fourth tour level, the match, and will seek his second trophy on Sunday. We're almost at the end of this news bulletin, but before we say goodbye, quick reminders of the headlines again. 8 ruling partners holding meet today at 4 p.m. Upcoming presidential election, cabinet expansion, and other contemporary issues to be discussed. Sudur Pasim's Chief Minister Kamal Bahadur Saha seeking vote of confidence today. Provincial Assembly meet called for 1 p.m. China tries to rebuild businesses after COVID, ending COVID restriction. A landmark agreement to protect global ocean reached after years of negotiations. Countries agreed to place 30% of the seas into protected areas. Well, this is all we have for this moment. Until our next bulletin, have a good day ahead. Namaste.